So this week we're at my house and with my dogs, which is nice, rainy weather outside. And I really want to talk specifically about partners. We've been dealing a lot with the director, partner level lawyers, as I have done for most of my career. And there's always the same old question that will come out when they're looking to move their practice, to move firm or overseas. There's always the issues of client base, and there's always the issues of how much of that is transferable. And the questions have been come flying in this week, really. So it's really worth discussing that in a little bit of detail just for a couple of minutes to answer some basic questions. Basic questions being, you're not going to get a move, very unlikely. There's always a percentage chance, but I would say 98, 99% of the time, you're not really going to get a move unless you can transfer some of the clients that you're working with. It becomes very, very difficult when you work for one of the big firms, because the big firms typically try very, very hard to make sure that they own the client. The dogs are wandering around. So they make sure that they own the client. So institutionalize the client, really, to make it very, very impossible. It's good for the client, it means, and it's also good for the law firm, but it's not so good for when you want to move. So you really, really need to take that into consideration whenever you're starting out on your partner journey. And if you're looking to move, think a year ahead, ideally, and think about your client base and think about how much of it is transferable. Because it's basic economics, right? If the law firm's going to pay you X millions, they're going to need to see X millions coming in. It's really that basic. Now, depending on the firm, depending on the size of the firm, depending on the practice, whether it's cross-border, whether it's local, you're really going to have different pressures on that transferable client base. And the length of time you're going to be given to then build it up, because you're going to have to leave some of it behind. There are different types of firms. The way that they remunerate is different. Some will give you a basic, and then base a lot of it on what you're bringing in. But if you're looking to go into a platform that isn't a merit-based system, is actually more of a lockstep system, you're going to need to at least cover what you're earning. That is really, really important for everybody to hear, especially those who might be starting out on their partner journey or be looking to get promoted very soon. That is something that you're going to have to take into consideration. Now, there is a guy who I've just been reading, an ex-Reed Smith partner called Douglas Wood. His author title is Douglas J. Wood, and he's just released a book, having retired, and it's very specifically about how to build a multi-million-dollar practice and then how to give it away. This is really pertinent for those who are coming towards the end of their career that we deal with, whether they want to give it away to someone more junior. And in South Africa alone, we've seen a couple, they'll remain nameless for the sake of this recording, but everyone knows who they are. There's a couple of firms recently that have where the older partners have basically gone into retirement and just let the firm slide. That's their decision. It's their business. They've obviously made good money and they've had a great stellar career, both sets of partners. But it doesn't have to end that way. It doesn't have to end in a damp squib. It can be something that you can value and sell, and the name can then carry on. The clients would certainly like it. So something really to bear in mind. Those of you out there that are in the partner space or going into the partner space or retiring from the partner space, we have a lot of information, a lot of options for you. Come to me, get in touch, and we can discuss those options.